you're subject to a $500 fine each and every time. And if there are crimes under contributing to the delinquency of a minor, you face up to 6 months in prison. And I am not shy about looking for jail time. The people of the district have had enough, and we do not want this increasing as these teens run wild through our neighborhoods. Now, this is going to be a coordinated, holistic approach. This morning, I spoke to Chief Jeffrey Carroll about the need for my office to know who the teens are who've gotten a curfew violation. Because if there's more than one or two, parents, you're on my list. I spoke to the police chief about those teens who are wearing masks when they are committing crimes. That's an additional violation. It's an OAG violation, but it's a violation nonetheless, and I can bootstrap the parents into that. I also spoke with the local D.C. Attorney General, Brian Schwab, and he and I are on the same page as it relates to his giving my office the information that I need about PINs, about young people in the family court who are in trouble, who are in a position where they are being monitored and under a court order. It is then that I can pull their parents in. I've got everything in place now, and I spoke to the Chancellor of Schools. That one is yet to be determined. So, if you've been following the DC news, you know that there has been a back and forth with the DC Council, who, for whatever reason, are refusing to vote on a curfew, a new curfew, that will allow Mayor Bowser, and with whom I am on the same page on this, along with Chief Jeffrey Carroll, to impose a discretionary curfew based upon information that is coming to their attention. In fact, right now the curfew is 11 to 6 weekdays, and I think on weekends it may be 12 to 6. But the DC Council is not willing to deal with this. They punted, and you know they punted, when the kids were on spring break between, I believe it was April 15th and April 21st. And they literally just went home. Well, I'm telling you now that there's a meeting tomorrow of the D.C. Council. And I am now asking the people of the District of Columbia who agree with the mayor and the chief and me, that they need the ability to create this curfew based upon the discretionary and the recent information, to call every one of these members of the DC Council and tell them that we need a curfew. We need a discretionary curfew where the mayor and the chief have the ability to get the police and get the teens out of areas so we can enjoy the quality of life that we are entitled to. Enough of this nonsense. If we don't do this ourselves, no one is going to do it for us. And in the end, this is a coordinated effort, and it is something where I want to thank the MPD. I want to thank Darren Cox, who is in charge of the Washington Field Office of the FBI, all of our law enforcement partners who are working tirelessly to restore law and order. They have shown tremendous professionalism and restraint. I say this every time, and I have to say it because I desperately believe it. We are in the most important city in the nation. This is the nation's capital. This is where the 250th anniversary will take place on July 4th. This is where we have to make people proud of that city on the hill. And unless we all come together and do this together, it's not going to happen. But I'm an optimist, and I believe that it will. So now I'd like to call upon Darren Cox, who can tell us what we're doing to deal with this violent takeover. Thank you.
Right. And you brothers can listen to the rest of that. Okay, so yeah. Real quick, I was trying to bring it up. I had to do some more studies on it, but this is as of May 2026. Parents or guardians in Washington D.C. can be fined up to $500 per violation for allowing minors under 18 to break citywide or emergency early evening, citywide or emergency early evening 8 p.m. curfew laws. I was trying to figure out how much it was beforehand, if they had a set price, because I know in Kenosha, Wisconsin, when I was younger, I received a curfew ticket. It was like $104 back then, you know. But I wonder, it's probably just damn near the same. But anyways, it says minors may face up to 25 hours of community service, and adults could face up to 6 months in prison for repeat violations. It says fines up to $500 per violation. Criminal penalties. Parents may face up to 6 months in jail for contributing to the delinquency of a minor. Minor consequences up to 24 hours. As you can see. So, that's what these parents get. Yeah, these bitches that's call themselves mothers and raising these kids, these teen mothers and whatnot, need to be punished. This is another way of making you bitches humble yourselves down and get y'all houses in order, because they already attacked the food stamps, the WIC, the jobs, other after school programs and things like that, and now they're attacking the fact that, you know, since your kids don't have nothing to do and you don't have no fucking money to occupy them, and now they're attacking the fact that you let them run loose and do whatever the fuck they want to do. Yeah, and you know, a nigga whose mind, you know, is fragile and emotional, they ain't gonna know what the fuck to do. They don't know how to handle this situation. They gonna go crazy, and a lot of them kids gonna be getting put out the house. Fuck around and have to go live in an orphanage or just be homeless or some shit like that, you know? Just because their parents is evil and don't know how to raise the kids, or the mother doesn't know how to raise the kids, and the father ain't even in the house. He a YN want to be himself. You know, so. But yeah, I'm going to start with this precept, since I already got it up. This is Exodus chapter 23, verse 2. Thou shalt not follow a multitude to do evil. When you in them crowds and participating in all that bullshit that they got going on, the teen takeovers and jumping people and all that shit just because, or on some random shit, robbing people and things like that, that's following the multitude to do evil, because that's contrary to the gospel. But Esau is the Lord's whipping stick, so the Lord is setting you jakes up on purpose so that y'all can get y'all ass whooped. Whether prison time or death, it doesn't matter, or just fines. It says, neither shalt thou speak in the cause to decline after many to rest judgment. Okay, come on. That was like, that was it. Satan just taking all day with it. Read the Psalms or Proverbs. These are good precepts. These Yeah. This is Proverbs chapter 22, verse 6. Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. You women can't raise no man child. That's why you got all this. That's why they got the title YN. Let me see. That's a curse upon Jake, because the scriptures say the man is put out the house. The women hate the children between her legs. And eventually she gonna eat their ass. You know, just like what happened in Masada. Be a badass kid if you want to in these days. This is Job chapter 14, verse 1. Man that is born of a woman is a few days and full of trouble. Them kids are full of trouble, man, because they're being raised by their mothers, being raised to be emotional. Remember, this goes back to the Willie Lynch. That's why you have to sit and study and basically take the curses off you. The scriptures is your foundation, and then the books help bring everything to life so that you can get the curses up off you. It says, Proverbs 22:15. Foolishness is bound in the heart of a child, but the rod of correction shall drive it far from him. Right? You're supposed to correct your kid while he's young, before he gets to this age where you can't correct him. Proverbs 23:13. Withhold not correction from the child. And you know these women don't even like whipping their kids. I done heard plenty of women say they don't want to whip their kids and not going to whip their children. They turn it into Edomite children, because the Edomite is the one who allows his kid to lash out like that, you know. Not all Edomites, but some of them do. Majority of them do. It don't matter. Anyways, it says, Proverbs 23:13. Withhold not correction from the child, for if thou beatest him with the rod, he shall not die. You're supposed to whoop your child. Let me read Proverbs 22:15 again. Did I finish this? Proverbs 22:15. Foolishness is bound in the heart of a child. Heart is mind. Hebrew word for heart is mind, is lob, which means your mind. So foolishness is bound in a child's mind, but the rod of correction, whoop this motherfucker, shall drive it far from him. Or her. Whoop her ass too, because these kids need their ass whooped as well. I mean, the little girls need their ass whooped as well. Proverbs 29:15. The rod of reproof giveth wisdom. Right. It teaches them what not to do. But a child left to himself, bringing his mother to shame. Right. Them children that's being called out there on these TVs, being part of that teen takeover and the Chipotle situation, is bringing their mother shame. People look at their mothers like, you bitches don't know how to raise y'all kids. That incident that happened in Chicago, where them kids, them little kids, jumped that mother and her children. And a lot of people from Chicago came together and went up to their school and was ready to whoop them kids' ass, because that was evil that they had done. And then their mothers, it brought shame onto their mothers, because now everybody know who they are and know that they don't know how to raise their kids. So you know, Chicago motherfuckers talking. They definitely talking shit, especially since this gang bang culture out there. You know, some like a couple of them kids didn't even feel no remorse. So I guarantee you, other kids didn't beat their ass a few times already. And you got other parents that's out there wanting to beat them parents up for not dealing and raising their children the right way. You got to teach your child discipline and respect. It says, okay, that's good enough. Yeah, you women gotta raise y'all children the right way. That's why they out there like that. Y'all not raising y'all children up, man, the right way. Or a woman not raising your child up the right way. Deuteronomy 28:54, so that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, the men used to show each other brotherly love. That's all it's speaking on. Tender towards each other, not trying to kill each other like how they did in the Pt.2 fight.